Okay, in this video we're going to solve number 4 from chapter 9, hard questions. Okay, so the scenario reads, suppose supply and demand are given by price equals 90 minus 2 times quantity, and price is equal 10 plus 3 times quantity, where price is in dollars and quantity is in thousands of units. So suppose the economy is open for trade and the world price is $40. What are the gains from trade? Okay. So as always, we want to draw a picture first. Okay. So we have our picture drawn. So let's also write down the equations in question. So we have P equals 90 minus 2Q equals 10 plus 3Q. And then we know that the world price is equal to $40. Okay, so first, it helps if we know when we're doing a gains from trade calculation, right? So we can do a quick, so suppose we know that the equilibrium price is here. We haven't calculated it yet. Maybe we have in a previous iteration of this problem set, but for now we know that the equilibrium price is here. So let's just suppose, for argument's sake, that the world price is, for whatever reason, up here. I'm not saying that is what it is, but we just want to get a picture of what we're trying to calculate, right? So that would mean this area here this would be the gains from trade, right? This is total surplus before trade, right? When we're in a closed economy, right? That's total surplus. However, when we open for trade, right? In this case, the country would be exporting because the equilibrium price is lower than the world price, right? So we would be exporting, right? And so we still get the entire purple triangle as our total surplus, but in addition, we get this green triangle, and this is what we call the gains from trade. So the green triangle we call gains from trade. And so when we want to actually calculate this green triangle, well, obviously we need the height of the triangle, and the height of the triangle is the difference between the equilibrium price and the world price. And then you multiply that by the base of the triangle, which is either, in this case, it's the exports, but if you're importing, then it's the imports. So it's the difference between the equilibrium price and the world price times the imports or the exports. Right. So if you are exporting, right, it's going to be world price minus equilibrium price, or that distance, times the exports divided by 2. Or if you're importing, it'll be equilibrium price minus the world price times the imports divided by 2. Or you can just understand that you're calculating distance, not ignoring the minus sign. Okay. So first things first, let's figure out whether we are importing and exporting. And in any case, we need that equilibrium number to do our calculation. So first we need to find the equilibrium without trade. Okay, so we're going to set these equal to each other. Okay, and then we just do algebra. So that gives us the quantity. So we have the equilibrium quantity of 16. And you can plug that into either one of the equations, as you know. And that'll give us an equilibrium price of 58. So 16 times 3, 48, plus 10, 58. Or you can do it on the demand side. All right, cool. See if we can clear some of this up here. All right. So let's write down the equilibrium price, which is 58. And might not be necessary, but let's just, for completeness. There's a quantity. All right, so the world price, in fact, is below. All right, so somewhere here. So this is the world price, which is 40. So the gains from trade are going to be here, this triangle. And again, what does this triangle represent? It's the distance. It's the distance between the equilibrium price in the closed economy and the world price times the imports. Now, how do we know these are imports? Well, obviously, if the price is cheaper, domestic production will go down and domestic demand is going to go up, right? Law of demand says that if the price goes down, quantity demanded goes up, right? And if the producers domestically are producing less, that's going to get filled in by imports. Okay, so we have 2 pieces of information that we need. We just need 2 more. We need this. This would be the quantity supplied, right? This is the supply. This is the supply curve at 40, which is the world price. Okay. And we want to know the quantity demanded at 40. All right, well, how do we find those? Well, you take 40 and plug it into the supply curve. Well, let's do it. Draw some lines, separate these calculations. Okay. So the quantity supplied, if we plug 40 into the supply curve, then we have 40 as the price, 10 plus 3Q. Now we just solve for Q. And that's quantity supplied. So here we have 30. Yes. And so quantity supplied should be 10. Right. What about quantity demanded? Same thing, right? We're going to take 40 and plug it into the demand curve. So here we're going to have 40 equal to 90 minus 2Q. And this is going to be quantity demanded. So here we have minus 50 equal to minus 2QD. And so quantity demanded is 25. All right, well, now we have all our pieces. Now we can make this calculation. Now we can calculate the gains from trade, which we know is going to be P star minus the world price times imports times 1/2. Now, keep in mind that if we were talking about exports here, okay, so if this was gains from trade when we were exporting, this would be the world price minus P star times exports times 1/2. Right, but we're going to be using the import one because, well, we're importing. All right, so let's fill this in. We have price, it's 58. World price, 40. Imports, 25 minus 10 times 1/2. And you can do the arithmetic here. We should end up with 135. It says that the quantity is in thousands, so the answer should also be in thousands. So this is actually, the gains from trade are actually $135. So the answer here should be D.